one's looking good today. She is a little dirty, but I think I like her like that. We got some good questions on the last video, so I'm going to try to address those. We got questions from Ricky PH and Sarab H, or Sarab. So yeah, we got a long list to go over. Hopefully I can address all of them. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing. We got a few nice little turns in the bends up here on A1A. We can discuss handling and discuss some of the nitty-gritty stuff that Ricky PH wants to talk about. So yeah, let's get going. All right. That's a fun one. Can we get the wave? We got the wave. That's what I'm talking about. Half these Harley dudes, I don't want to shit on Harley dudes. Most of the Harley dudes do not give a whether you wave at them or not. They do not look at you if you're on anything but a bagger type deal, but they're all right. We're not gonna shit talk Harley dudes. I hope to own a Harley one day. Let's talk about handling. Sarab wants to know how this bike handles. And while I realize the irony of us being on a straight and narrow road and me trying to talk about handling, I would say that handling is important, even in a state like Florida where most of the roads are straight. Why do I say that? I say that because our drivers are absolutely terrible. Here we go, here's a nice little bend. Tuck it in here. Absolutely effortless. I barely have to think about turning this guy over. Here's the beach. Hey, here's the ocean. Beautiful. Bikers are at a significant disadvantage in all circumstances, but especially in South Florida because I think we have some of the worst drivers probably in the world. So handling, braking, being maneuverable is very important. If someone pulls out, doesn't see you, or if they do see you and decide to pull out, which is often the case, you have to be able to dodge pretty quick. Isn't this a cool like little overhang here? All the trees just meet. This is one of the only places near me that is like this. It's absolutely awesome. The sun is shining and it shines through in this cathedral of fauna. Just let me by, thank you. Woo, doggy. So yeah, this bike in particular, what can I say about handling? I think while my frame of reference is somewhat small, I do not have to think about maneuvering this bike. Why do I say that? When it's hard to maneuver, you'll know it. Meaning the center of gravity might be off, the bike might be a little bit heavier. You don't feel that twist in your hips. Definitely feel the twist in my hips and this bike. I do not feel excess weight, and I feel no trouble kind of making these small maneuvers. I'm about to pitch it into a turn right here, and hopefully I can illustrate that. I'll drop it down to third. This is probably one of the only places that lets you do this here. I'm a novice rider, I will make no bones about it. But, I mean, I could put this thing pretty much where I want to place it. You just have to be willing to have that neutral seating position, that neutral, you know, arms loose, not grabbing on the bars too tight. Use the pegs, use one of the arms to pitch it in. A nice lean. Counter steering is not an issue, but where it really shines, I think, is when you're leaning into those turns. That's where it loves to be. So, Sarab, I hope I answered your questions about handling. Thanks for commenting, thanks for subscribing. And I think Sarab said that the 401s are now coming out in India. And I had no idea that the KTM and Husqvarna are such a big deal in India, but I think the KTM 390 and 250 are very popular there. Correct me if I'm wrong, in that India buys and sells more motorcycles than the rest of the world, so this shouldn't be any surprise, but Husqvarna comes out with their 250 of this over there, and they're actually undercutting the price of the KTM. So I think they're planning to sell a lot of these, and I think there are a lot of people love the looks of it there. It looks like nothing else that's available, and the same is true for this bike in the States. I have to say, I don't see anyone who has latched on to the somewhat cafe racer, somewhat new school. I mean, this design of this bike is totally original. It doesn't look like anything else. Honda has the CB300R, which I actually looked at one of those bikes before purchasing this, and they term that as a neo cafe racer, a neo Neo Sports Cafe, kind of something like that. And while I think that bike looks beautiful, I do not think they've nailed the design of like this is, I mean, these handlebars, the proportions, the lines on this bike are so cafe racer, and yet it's something of its own. Little tangent on styling there, but I think it's awesome. One of those bikes where, you know, you park it and you just, you look behind you like, oh yeah, I love the way that looks. Now, Ricky PH, are we hitting some rain? And I'm gonna turn back. Yeah, feeling a few drops. Consequence of riding in South Florida, you just gotta deal with the rain because it is coming for you. And if it's not coming for you, you will be coming for it. Turning radius actually isn't so good on this just because of the bars are a bit narrow. Okay, caught a little bit of the sunset. So while we wait for traffic, Ricky PH, he wants to know about intermittent electronic issues, rough idle, cooling fan noise, engine heat on your legs, freeway stability, and overtaking above 70. I'll talk about the gears last. So intermittent electronic issues. I haven't owned this bike long enough to have those, and I hope and pray that I won't experience that. I mean, any bike that's not Japanese, you hear pretty large consensus that electronics are the biggest issue for Italian bikes, German bikes. I haven't had those issues yet. I think they've been selling enough bikes to have them pretty much sorted out. So no, I haven't had any electronic issues. What else? Cooling fan noise. Cooling fan noise. This is one of the things that really took me by surprise when I first got this bike. When the cooling fan kicked on, I thought something was wrong with the motorcycle. Oh, there's a radiator fan. But yeah, I think that thing's pretty loud. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's like a whine. You know, you have your air-cooled engines that just get really freaking hot, and you have your liquid-cooled, radiated bikes that use a cooling fan. You know, engines are only 30% efficient due to the heat, so, you know, I don't have anything against bikes with cooling fans, but when I'm in traffic and the thing kicks on, it's loud as hell. I gotta say, it's really, really loud. It's just annoying. It's just annoying. But you know what? If it's gonna keep the bike cool in traffic, I'm all for it. Yep, cooling fan, no issues with it, but it is loud. Engine heat by my legs. So, because the bike has a cooling fan, you know, you wouldn't expect the engine to get super, super, super hot. But the truth of the matter is there is one hot spot that I don't take issue with, but I notice it quite a bit, and it's on my left ankle. So you can see that. I think it's probably where the cat is, and my left ankle, especially if I'm not wearing any socks, which I always should be, but I don't always. It gets real toasty down there to the point where I think I might be, you know, drying out my skin quite a bit. Almost burning, not quite. But I think you can fix that with a bit of heat wrap or something like that. I haven't heard other riders have this issue, but my left ankle gets really, really hot. All right, here we go. The one turn in Florida. It's for you, Sir Rob. That is beautiful. Check out that scenery. Wish it was a bit nicer weather for all of you and for my sake, but the good thing about overcast is that it's a little cooler, so I'll take it. Freeway stability. This thing is rock solid on the freeway. I would say freeway stability is fantastic. Stability is fantastic though. I was so comfortable on this bike the first time I was riding it. I was so comfortable on it, more comfortable than I thought it would be. This thing is rock solid on the freeway, so no worries about that. Overtaking above 70. Wow, okay, so this bike will do the ton, will do 100, and well past it, so you will not have any problems overtaking above 70. There's torque for days. It's not a screamer by any means, but there is torque in this punchy one cylinder. If you plan to get a fairing for it, Pugue makes a really nice one. I will admit, this bike is not the best. The clutch engagement, I don't think it's particularly crisp. I do find that I'm having issue finding neutral. Finding neutral is You have to be very, very, very delicate to find neutral. I think this is also because of the shoes that I'm wearing, but when I want to switch, it's a nice bridge. Isn't this a nice bridge? Look at this. It looks like something out of Disney World. When I'm at a stoplight and I'm at a turn, I'm in first, clutch and go to second, I often get that neutral. That is no bueno. That's not fun. I don't like that. I do think it's because of the shoes I'm wearing a lot of the time. So there's that. Where can I go to fly the drone? I think it's too late anyways. All right, next video, I'll get a little drone shot. And that doesn't mean I can't shift quickly. I feel like shifting quickly is very rewarding on this bike. It's just that the gearbox doesn't give you as much feedback as I'd like. And this clutch bar isn't the tightest either. The clutch lever, a little bit sloppy. Just a little bit sloppy. But I do want to hear from my Indian friends if you're looking to get a 401 or haven't made a video yet, please do. Okay, dude and dudettes, that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you had a good time as the lightning starts up again. Hope I answered all your questions. I realized the last video was a little bit long, so I'm gonna try to keep these shorter. Enjoy Labor Day, and I will see you in the next one. Please do not subscribe. Please do not like. I'm just kidding. Please do all those things. And I'll see you in the next one.